Good evening and welcome to Cal State East Bay News Program. I'm Nathan Jackowitz.
And I'm Bobby Amos Jr. Top story tonight, the votes are in. CSU faculty has approved a strike. What might draw them to the picket lines? ECOMM Morty reports.
After nearly 2 years of failed negotiations with the Chancellor's office, CSU faculty members say they are overworked and underpaid.
What we're looking for is a fair salary compensation proposal from the Chancellor. We've been at the bargaining table, the California Faculty Association, which represents the 24,000 faculty in the CSU system. We've been at the bargaining table for more than 22 months with these people now, and we have not been able to bargain a fair contract.
The California Faculty Association and the faculty we represent are free to take job actions up to and including a strike.
Faculty union members say that CSU pays them 18% lower than what faculty receive at comparable universities.
The faculty, I think, wants some good faith negotiations with the Chancellor. They want to sit at the table and be able to negotiate what every union member wants and what I feel every citizen, and everybody in this country wants. A workplace that will provide them with a fair wage, good, safe working conditions and the tools they need to do their job. And lastly, benefits which include health care and a secure future.
The CSU Chancellor cannot be reached for a comment, but has offered a 25% pay raise over 4 years. The union has turned down that offer. They say the contract contains loopholes and that most faculty will only receive 14% over 4 years. CSU East Bay Professor Jim Forster and Vice President of the CFA.
It's not easy to understand because on the surface it looks like we're getting a great offer and why are we turning it down? Once people see that the offer is not really what it says that it is, then they go, oh, I get it.
Out of more than the 8,100 CSU faculty members who cast their ballots, 94% voted in support of the strike. Voter turnout on the 23 campuses was high, with more than 80% of qualified members voting. One of the teachers who opposed the strike is a 20-year CSU East Bay veteran, Professor Ann Pine.
I have not received any good reasons for why A, this wasn't accepted, and B, why a strike is necessary, and C, what the strike would accomplish. I don't really see what's so bad about our salaries, to tell you the truth. I mostly think about teaching and research. And I think I'm very fortunate to be able to live a life of a scholar and a professor.
Even the faculty in support of the strike say it's not all about the money. They also say they are fighting for quality education.
Many of the students support us and they recognize that the future of the system itself is at stake.
Faculty are ready to strike, but the Chancellor still has the opportunity to meet their demands. If not, this strike will be the largest walkout in higher education history.
The California Faculty Association is preparing for rolling strikes in early April.
When you think of promoting education, you probably think of boring guidance counselors and lectures. But Cal State University East Bay is trying a more inspirational approach.
For these performers, education happens in more places than just the classroom. It also happens on stage in celebration of their faith and culture. Renew Your Spirit was the message at Cal State East Bay's second annual Gospel Fest. African American students and community participants used gospel music to remember the struggles of those who came before them. Campus leaders say they are hosting such events to encourage stronger ties with the African American community.
It's always important to recognize and to celebrate the past. I'm a big proponent of that because some people don't know where they come from or they're having trouble identifying with different aspects. And to me, the beautiful thing about culture is it's to see. One is to celebrate your individuality, then also to share and to experience your similarities.
Chris Gibson, a student at Cal State East Bay, helped organize Gospel Fest.
The thing that I most enjoy about the gospel form of worship is expressing myself to God, giving thanks to Him because of what He has done for me, and not only for me, but for others.
Throughout African American history, gospel music has been a source of strength. It originated when slaves combined African styles of song and dance with the Christian faith. Many early spirituals asked God to free the slaves of their hardship.
So that's all that they had going through slavery. And then once slavery was abolished, that's all that they had, because even though they had their freedom, they really didn't have any monetary things. They didn't have any homes. They didn't have things like that. But all they had was the gospel. And so it's been brought up through the African American heritage from the time of slavery all the way up through until now. And when you look at the generation today, or the older generation today, they are the ones that went through the civil rights. They are the one that went through not able to go to certain restaurants and drink in certain fountains and go to certain libraries. And when they didn't have that, they fell back on their churches. Their churches were the educational establishments.
Recognizing that the church is still a pillar in the African American community, Cal State East Bay is part of a statewide outreach program working with local churches to promote education awareness within the African American community.
What we see is, of course, all of our potential great leaders of this country. And that's what heartens all of our heart. And the only thing that stands between your current position and realizing those dreams is getting a college education.
Student Life and Leadership Advisor Arthur Jenkins believes that Gospel Fest can play an important role in the outreach effort.
And so Gospel Fest now it's coming into its in its own, because now these churches can be involved in a social and a community building event, and as well as educational, and it merges the two groups, the university, academic, to the local community, to the church. It's a spiritual connection, which is why I'm so excited to bring Gospel Fest to this campus.
Reporting from Cal State East Bay, I'm Jason Shu.
CSU's outreach to the African American community is part of a broader statewide effort to recruit students from underserved communities, including Latinos, Asian Pacific Islanders, and Native Americans.